been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I might rent the Lambo and go drive it like it's stolen. I've been living wild, I'm just going through the motions. Stumbling out the Uber, grab my hand, gave me the notion. Swimming in your water, but it feels just like the ocean. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I was sipping Moet for 2 years straight to the face. Champagne belly bubble still won't go away. Last year my best man hit a stain with bad face.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I want to thank you for joining us for episode 11 of This, That, and the Third with Shannon, Bam, and Hook. This week, last week we talked about splitting the check. This week, we're going to talk about splitting household bills. And when we talk about splitting bills or splitting finances or whatever, we mean in terms of relationships. It can be married, you can be engaged, you can be dating, you can be just shacking up, you can be in any relationship or a situationship or whatever's going on, right? So we're gonna talk about finances and how those things are split up and allocated. So before we start, Shannon, what are your thoughts on the topic? What do you think we're gonna come away with?
I think we'll come away with the man need to pay for everything and the woman don't have to do nothing.
Oh, they coming a mile away.
All her money. That's what I think we're going to be talking about.
I somehow saw they coming a mile away. I set myself up for that one.
I mean, what else you thought I was going to say? I'm just joking. That ain't what I really believe. But, I think that what will come out of is that whatever works for each couple is what people do, right? That Absolutely. May work for a certain couple, and some couples that may not work for.
Yeah, to each his or her own, right?
I'm gonna find my man that works for. I'm gonna find him.
I know, right? So we got a couple of guests who are going to help us with this topic. So we'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. We've got a new face joining us, so we'll give her an opportunity to tell us who she is. So take it away.
Hi, my name is Vanna Germany. I'm excited to be here and conversate with you all this evening.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, what's up, baby?
And we got a familiar face.
Hi, everybody. This is Koshan, aka Khalid Muhammad. Excited to be here as usual.
All right,
ready to get started.
Got that bow tie on like them. Like
I know, right? like you selling bean pies or something.
Yeah, you got that pamphlet on you.
No, but I think this is going to be a really good topic, man. So, for the viewers, for the audience, make sure you guys react. Make sure you comment. We do want you to participate. We want to engage you so we can read the comments and share those. Make sure you share. Also, make sure you subscribe, man. We bring you guys A1 content from day one. So we really appreciate the support. So we'll go ahead and get things started, man. So I guess to start out, so when we're talking about like splitting bills or whatnot, let's find out where everybody's head is first. So before we talk about splitting the bills, let's ask the question, should the bills even be split? And everybody get in where you're fitting.
I think you're on mute.
I think it should be split. I mean, it takes two to run a household. These married, co-parenting, whatever you're doing, it takes two. So I don't understand when a woman says she wants a man to do everything, because what are you going to do? What are you bringing to the table that he should pay for every single thing?
Ah,
That's, yeah.
Shannon.
Oh, it's not, no, what you want me to say to that? I know what I
Yeah.
want. I'm comfortable in what I want. That ain't what I've ever had before, but one day I would like to experience it. What I've had has been splitting things, you know, making sure, you know, the house gets taken care of no matter how it works. One day I'm up, one day he up. It gets taken care of.
I agree. I mean, it's just
So
a-
you said in the past, Shannon, that you've always been in a situation where your other half is paid for, has pretty much taken care of everything, and there was no like split or anything.
No. So
Or is it the opposite?
I've lived a lot of lives in my life. Okay. Let's talk about that. So my children's father, I was very, very young, right? He paid for everything. I worked and pretty much bought groceries, right? But there was a bad side to that. Then I got in a relationship with someone who paid for nothing and I paid for everything. I think I told y'all that he even asked me to tell people he bought me a new car once.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then I've been in
That guy.
a relationship where we took care of what needed to be taken care of. Like we didn't care who made what, just the money went into a joint account together and we made sure the bills got paid, right? So,
Okay.
I
So
had a
you
relationship.
lived a lot of lives.
I paid the utilities and he paid the more, you know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
I've lived lives.
So you've been across the entire spectrum then.
The entire spectrum, but at 47 years old and my children are grown and I live alone, I am just ready to be taken care of. Like, fuck it. I ain't gonna lie. And I ain't ashamed of it.
And what about you, Cole? Do you think that the household bill should be split?
Nah, but you know, I grew up with my grandfather. Yeah, that's a requirement. So my only thing is I want something to eat. I can cook. I like to cook on the grill, you know, and try different things, but I feel like I believe in gender roles completely. And one of the roles, in my opinion, of a man is that he should pay the bills, household bills, you know. And that is operating, I don't want to say like within boundaries, but something reasonable. If you're a stay-at-home mom, then your needs will be met, right? If God's paying all the bills, then you will have a reliable, a new vehicle every certain number of years. You know, you will be comfortable. There will be some money put into an account so you aren't like stressing yourself whenever you swipe a card. But that doesn't mean that you're just out shopping every day. You know, if you want to do things like that, then hey, that's what your income is for. If you decide to, you know, get a job. But I never saw my grandmother work. You know, my dad pays all the bills. That's just all I've been accustomed to. I lived with an uncle for a while, and my aunt used her money for Christmas presents for everybody. Like that's what she did. She shopped Christmas presents and like ornaments. She decorated her house and things like that. So that's all I knew. But I don't knock anybody that does anything different. And it's a motivating factor for me. It drives me to work harder, you know, to do more, because I know that that's a responsibility of mine. That's just how I feel. And you can, you know, if things don't work out, it doesn't hurt me to walk away if I've been paying all the bills before anyway. You know what I'm saying? But when people have been splitting and something happens, now everybody's in a jam, in a bind, you know, because you were expecting someone else's income just to sustain your life. And when that goes away, then what do you do for as a man, you know? But that's just me.
I got Christmas presents. I got you. What you want? Like another bow tie? What you
But are you going to cook every day? That's what I need.
we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Well, I'll work mine. I'll cook meals every day because I like to cook. So if my man is worthy of that and he's a good provider and I'm helping him, I'm a gender-driven person. So if my job is
right,
of the house. I don't mind doing that, as long as you're being the man and doing your role too. So it's a partnership for me.
Right. I agree.
And I
My
think
thing
that
about the cooking every day,
question.
to be able to experience that from a man and having like specific roles is not the fact that the roles are there. It's about the idea that nothing else happens if that role is not met. Again, like I said, I'm in a time in my life where I don't have small children. I don't have, things tying me to one place. So I'm in a little bit of an adventurous spirit right now. I want to travel, go places. So that means I may not be home every day to cook a meal. But when I'm home,
No, that's understood. That's
Yeah.
understood. Yeah.
So
And I believe in unconditional,
Mhm.
like if you're in a relationship and you love someone, I really believe in unconditional love. You might be upset or say something, but I believe in addressing it, not arguing. We address it, communicate how we feel about a situation, keep it moving. I may be upset, but I'm never going to stop paying the bills. I'm never going to stop doing the things that I'm supposed to do. That's conditional and fake, in my opinion. And that leads to people doing things that are passive aggressive or just being petty and spiteful. That is a non-negotiable for me. When you start doing things like that, that's called the end of an entire relationship, marriage, whatever.
Yeah.
Because we have responsibilities, and if you are going to let something prohibit you from doing the things that I feel you agreed to do, you signed up for, a responsibility in a relationship, then that's not something for me. But now you don't be making up excuses every night now. Don't make excuses up every night why you're not cooking.
Not every night, but I lived a couple of lives now. I had a relationship where I cooked every day for years. Okay? I'm working a full-time job. I'm growing 3 businesses. And every day I'm going in the kitchen about 3:00 to make sure I get meal for him before he gets home from work. And I've lived that life. And I know what it means to do that life. And I know that doesn't quite work in the same way for me right now.
I mean, I just think that, like, for me, it's more so I think people should do whatever works for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like Shannon, you said that you've taken on different roles in different relationships, right? So whatever person you were with at the time, whatever you guys did, that's what worked for you at the time. I don't think it's a situation where, and I don't disagree with Coach Sean, because I was raised by my mom, obviously, but I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and my grandma never worked a day in her life. My grandma, she had a candy store that she ran out the back, little side hustle.
Yeah.
Right. But my granddad, he worked however many jobs, took care of all the bills, took care of all the finances. I don't even think she ever filed a tax return in her entire life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm totally not against that. However, with things have changed, and back then, most of the men did the labor. They had the jobs, and women are by far in terms of like career progression and education, they're running laps around a lot of us men. So you aren't going to find many women who don't have careers and aspirations and goals and things like that. So it's not going to be a situation where they necessarily need to be taken care of. I know it's nice, but it's not necessarily a need. And one thing Coach Sean said, it really stood out. And I think the problem that comes in especially when a man or woman, if one of them is paying more, like footing all the bills and paying everything, like when they get mad or they get upset or things ain't going their way, they stop doing it. You know what I mean? And for spite or for whatever the reason is, I think that's when the issues come about. When what I'm saying, like, instead of just, even if you're mad, you still doing what you signed up to do. But the problem is when they get mad, now they be like, fuck that shit. I ain't doing that. I ain't, I ain't getting the nails done. I ain't doing this. You know what I'm saying? I think that's when the problem really comes. I think that's when the problem really comes into play.
It's a problem. You paying for my
divorce.
Problem. Yeah.
Yeah. If I come in the house and too many nights in a row and there's nothing to eat, then I need to find another house.
See.
And you know what though? Like, honestly, like for me, like my wife cooks every day, like every single, like Monday through Thursday. Like Fridays, Friday is hit or miss. Saturday maybe, but for the weekends, most part she don't cook. But Monday through Thursday, I know she's gonna cook. Now, does she do it because I require it? No, that's just her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she, like I don't even like, honestly, my oldest, she comes up with the meal plan every week. So she she writes down, hey, what we have for dinner, and then we'll go buy the stuff, and we do that. And like it's not something where it's not like if I come home and she ain't cook, I'm mad. Like, no, like I'll make it work. So
Sean
anything
gonna
is
be
like,
mad.
I'm
like
gonna be mad. I'm gonna
yeah,
be mad.
I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that
mad.
becomes a problem when it's like that I am beholden to a certain ideal. And that
Would you be mad if you came home and the lights were off? Would you be
Huh?
mad if you came home and the lights were off?
well, see, that's what it is. The lights ain't gonna be off where nowhere I live at.
But again, you're doing that. But would you be mad if that's his responsibility, or you agree to that and you come home and the lights off or the water's
An
off
agreement thing. That's the
or
thing.
your car's repossessed?
I haven't agreed to nothing.
Right. Well, that's in your house. That's what Hook said. But would you be upset if you came home and you got up to get ready for work and the car's repossessed? He didn't make the payment.
Of course.
So again, I reserve that right to be upset over something that we agreed to, that this is something that you do. That's just like, think about how many times women get pissed because he didn't take the trash out. That's something that one of his roles or responsibilities, you know, it's still his responsibility. And as a man, you can reassign roles when you have children, but it's still your responsibility. Don't say you're not going to accept, oh, I told Junior to take the trash out. You gave him that role, but it's still your responsibility, right?
So it's not necessarily something that you agreed to. It's just an expectation. Is what is kind of what I'm hearing. Like it's not that she necessarily agreed to cook every night, but the expectation of you, if you're paying all the bills, is that you have a meal every night. Is that?
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Hook.
No, I communicated that when I was married. Like, look, these are some things. This is who I am, and these are my expectations. If that's a problem, that's fine. This isn't the right fit for us, and that's completely fine. You know what I'm saying? There are billions of people in the world. We can find somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that. But if you agree to it, and then it's not an issue. But I'm not asking for a Sunday meal every night. You know, I'm good with some pork and beans and rice.
Cereal and milk.
Leftovers. I do eat. I love cereal. I got Frosted Rice Krispies.
Sandwich. Oh, I got you then. What you want? Kellogg's?
Man, listen, a quick little burger, anything, and it's not an issue. And you know, in all honesty, that is absolutely fine, because that shows the effort. That shows that you took the time and you prepared something. You know what I'm saying? I've eaten fried bologna sandwiches, like it's whatever, you know.
Is that a non-negotiable for you though?
That what, the not cooking?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's non-negotiable. I'm not getting in a relationship. I would never be in a relationship like that ever.
I'll agree with you.
Because like I said, I feel like the bills are my responsibility. So if I can provide and pay all of the bills, I can't get a sandwich.
So you saying
I can't get a pizza.
You paying all the household bills or her bills too? What you saying?
Bills, all of the when I say household bills, a mortgage is a household bill, utilities are household bills, cars are household bills.
So what if she already had the car before y'all met? You are taking over her car payment? What you saying?
If that's a bill, that's a household bill, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's a household bill. I mean,
I got you. I got some Frosted Flakes in the cabinet.
Yeah, but when I actually, and not like it's something to brag about, just like how I felt. But from the time I met my wife, she's never had a car payment.
So then how does she manage? No, I ain't gonna ask that question. Me mind my business.
I mean, that's just how I feel about being in a relationship, and especially in a marriage. Yeah, especially in a marriage. But so I don't think that's asking for too much. But what I've noticed is a lot of, and I don't want to sound sexually biased in this, but Like men don't really care about what goes on in somebody else's house, right? But I've seen women publicly make statements about what other women do. And
Absolutely.
a lot of them wish they had somebody to cook for. But they'll like to say, "Oh, I wouldn't do this, or I would never do that." And women are so influential on other women, right? And like Hook said, I think if people just focus on what made their household work, things would be perfectly fine. You know, they'll make these comments and call each other domesticated or girl, you're such and such. And the whole time they're hoping that they have somebody to cook a meal for.
Yeah.
You know.
And Coach Sean, to your point, because you know when me and my wife first got serious and I started bringing her around my family, the females in my family, and they'd say it, you know, jokingly, but they'd be like, you know, she'd say, "Well, yeah, I cook every night." They'd be like, "You cook every night? I wouldn't be cooking every night." You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here like, don't like I'm y'all. Don't y'all want somebody?
That's gonna
happy that I got somebody that's gonna take care of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you saying because you don't cook for your man every night? That's fine. But
my family was the total opposite. When they asked, the first thing they asked was, "Can she cook?" I was like, "Yes, she can cook. She does the entire spread, Thanksgiving meal. Eat like I met right before Thanksgiving. She cooked the entire Thanksgiving meal, Christmas dinner. And when I shared that with my sisters, they jokingly said, "Oh yeah, she don't have to worry about you going anywhere."
I think it's the delivery, Coach Sean. You know what I'm saying? Because I think any woman will be more than happy to feed her family. That includes her man or his family or whatever, right? Even if you're not doing it every single day. But it's the delivery of the fact that seems to be your only hang up. Like, as great of a woman as I may be, as much as
you're not great to me. If you can't do that, then you're not great to me.
As great as I may be, yeah, there are lots of things that are great about me is why you want to be with me. And it ain't just food, right?
That's a major
one. The fact that your messaging is.
We're talking about me.
I know. I'm saying.
Yeah, if you can't cook, then the other stuff doesn't mean a thing to me.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe
I'm telling you. I'm telling you about me.
And tell me that you don't care.
I don't mean other men. I don't mean other men. You can have Christmas lights and sparks coming from your butt. If you can't cook,
I don't believe
man, that man been doing this up for 40 plus years. So I think you know what he wants.
I know me. I'm just saying for me. But I'm sure there are some guys out there that don't care. There are a lot of men that cook themselves. There are men that don't mind picking up Zaxby's every night. That will work for them. I'm just saying with me and my expectations. But don't you want a man that's going to communicate honestly and openly?
Of course.
So it's not a demand. It's just like while you're getting to know someone, you're talking, right?
Yeah, of course.
If I knew you in real life, let's say I met you.
You having your standard. I'm just saying,
right?
From us just conversing, that sometimes I think is maybe the delivery of that. Like for me personally, yeah, of course I'm gonna feed my man. We're gonna eat. I gotta eat every day. We're gonna eat something, right? But the thing that if I don't do it, then I am lacking in some sort of way or not worthy of the relationship. To me,
no, I didn't say that. But you're reneging. But you're reneging on an agreement. So just think about the guy paying these household bills, but then you go to take a shower and ain't no water coming out. Or
you're gonna be looking at him the same way, Coach Sean.
You're gonna be looking at me the same way. Like golly.
So I guess to the women who agree to that, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
And she has agreed to that.
But if she's agreed to it.
Yeah.
If he's expressed that's like a non-negotiable and you decide to go through with the relationship, I mean, you can't really be upset.
If a woman agrees to that, then they can't be upset if you don't hold up your end of the bargain. You're right.
Yeah. So right. And that's like if you said you want a man to pamper you now, you're ready to be in your soft girl era, right?
I sure am.
And you want him to do these things. You don't expect to get a letter from the mortgage company talking about payments hadn't been made since June and it's approaching Christmas.
June 23,
right?
Nope, and I need that brand new car. I got payment paid too.
You see what I'm saying?
I know. So Vanna, what are your thoughts on what they're saying? Like, do you agree or like what are you thinking?
I think I kind of lean more towards Keyshawn because I was married for 16 years, and my husband, if I couldn't cook, he wouldn't have married me. His stipulations were to have a child and to cook. And if I couldn't do that, we had already talked about we weren't getting married.
Hmm.
Thank
So I
you.
had children, but my husband didn't have kids. So therefore, because I loved him, and that was our decision, our conversation, I have a
Mhm.
so I think it depends on the love you have for that person and where you see you going. Those things are
Right.
part of it because no matter what no one says, it's how your household run and your negotiables.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I think once you agree to something and you negotiate it, you stand on that because I didn't want kids, but once we said we were going to have them, how could I renege on that? Because that's where our agreement was. So I don't believe in being childish and immature and reneging on an agreement that I've made because
Mhm.
my word is my
Right.
bond. So I'm going
Right.
to say what I say I'm going to do.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I
I think
appreciate that when you say it's what we decide for that relationship. That is the
Correct.
key term.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and that's why yeah, no, go ahead, Dana. What was that?
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Shannon, if you want that car note paid, you better get that pot set out of Costco.
No,
Oh.
you told me damn frosted flakes. Now look here. I told you I got you.
Okay.
And I think that's when issues really occur, is that when people insert themselves into other people's
Mhm.
situation, you know, and you just
Where's
because
the
you
applaud
do things,
button?
I wish I had when I got to invest in one. So, but yeah, because it happens all the time, right? Like especially with social media, people put on the front anyway. But when
Mhm.
they feel that a man needs to be this way or a woman needs to be that way, and they're looking at somebody else's situation like, nah, I wouldn't put up with that. Like, well, I mean, this ain't your relationship, so it doesn't
No.
really matter.
We good
What
over
I've
here.
learned is they
Good over
say
here.
they say those things, and they're literally putting up with worse.
I'll agree.
Mm.
I'll agree.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they'll say
That
amongst
is an
their
applaud
girl
button.
groups, "Oh, I would not do this, girl. I wouldn't do that." And when they get off the phone, they got the bum laying in the bed. The guy that they had to cash out gas money to just to get to their crib.
Ooh.
But
Facts. Like, bro,
telling the
I
girls,
cannot tell you. Like, I just started working back in the office, and if I tell you how many dudes
dropping these women off.
dropping these women off, and you know what I'm saying? No, but the thing is though, the woman driving in, the dude on the passenger side, she getting out to go in the building, he getting out the
Hell
passenger
no.
side and walking around,
Yeah,
and
he
I'm
didn't
just
even
sitting here,
drive her there. She had to drive
exactly.
herself while he's texting.
No.
And
Yeah.
the first thing I'm thinking is that he gonna damn tear her shit up, like.
Mm.
But it happens though,
Hey,
you know what I'm
pick
saying?
her up
Only
with the
got
car
one car.
smelling
Maybe
like
only
blunt.
got one car.
Right.
Maybe they
And
sharing.
when we say inserting ourselves in other people's relationships, because I got 2 daughters, I'm like, I wish one of my daughters would have some rust ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Ain't nobody doing that.
I'll agree. I'll agree. My husband told my daughter when we bought her car, if I see a guy up under your wheel, I will take your car. I don't believe in that. I'm to
Fact.
be a man.
Fact.
I had to learn that. I told you I lived a lot of lies now.
I can't do that. You're not getting my car. If you don't have one, you will not.
Hey, Shannon looked like she got dropped off a time or two.
Look here.
Yeah,
She looked like she
get
got
dropped
dropped
off.
off.
Well, I ain't got dropped off, but I used to go from Ghana's Ferry to Winsboro every day to pick up somebody to bring them all the way back by Ghana's Ferry to work.
You been in love with that man.
Mm-mm.
Look, I was young. I was a baby.
Heavy lust.
I was a baby. I was in my.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Phase.
There's nothing wrong with that. Were you bringing him back to work?
It was something wrong with that because when my car broke down, the first thing he said was, "How I'm gonna get to work?"
Okay.
Damn.
Oh. Well, it wasn't anything wrong with the situation. Something was wrong with him. Because had you been doing that for someone that was worthy and
Right
saving
person,
and
right.
building, then they
right.
would have been like, hey, let's get this car fixed.
Right.
Or, hey, I've saved X number of dollars, man. Let's try to get something going, you know?
Yeah.
Right. And it's different when you have someone who's really appreciative of your efforts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not somebody who's taking advantage. Like you can be like Shannon, if you were driving back and forth from this place to that place, and it was somebody who every time you picked them up, hey, thank you, I appreciate all that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like when it means different when they appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now when they don't, when they just taking advantage of the situation, that's something completely different.
I was a baby and he was 5 years older than me. He was too old for me anyway.
girl.
That's about normal. When you think about the maturity gap,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, 21-year-old
So
men, men don't mature medically, according to medical research. The frontal lobe doesn't start to develop until the age of 35,
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
and
So
women
Shannon,
start maturing at the age of 13.
I'll
so
agree.
Shannon, technically, you were older than him.
Right.
Is what we getting
Yeah.
at. Yeah, he
Yeah.
had you in age, but you had him in everything else. So you
Yeah,
were
because
more
I
mature.
started life real early. I graduated high school when I was 16, and I started adulthood really early.
Really early, yeah, 16
Yeah.
years
So
old.
you were fast.
I went fast. I was smart. Thank you
Just
very much.
teasing.
All
I'm
right.
just teasing.
Okay.
Now, but let's take a different angle, right? Because I know that we got some varying responses. Some feel that bills should be split. Some feels that bills should not be split.
Mhm.
Hypothetically speaking, if the bills are split, when should couples start splitting the bills? Like, when should that occur?
Immediately.
When children come aboard.
Okay.
I think when children, because children play a big role in everything, and when you start having children, it changes all the dynamics of everything. So I
What if
think,
there's no children?
I'm sorry,
What if there's no children?
that's when you can be fancy free and make it up as you go, long as you both are happy. But when kids come into place, it's more concrete, more set in stone. It should be. That's my perspective. That's when it really needs to be nut and bolts, because children are watching, and you have people, extra people to take care of.
So now when you're talking about, like, and let's say that, because I know kids that's a completely different animal. We already know when kids come into play, that's another 5, 6, 7 bills that you got on top.
Yes.
Now, so I guess when you're dating somebody, you know what I'm saying? And
That's what I
now,
was gonna add.
yeah, so is it when you, like, how do you even decide? Well, let's say they decide to cohabit, they decide to live together. Like, when should that whole split and bill thing even begin?
First of the month.
I can think my husband, so that don't start with me. I don't know.
Hey,
I'm gonna need a deposit. I need a security deposit.
I
a
can't.
funny story.
We live
Huh?
together? Security
I was
deposit.
dating someone. She had a very nice home, and I started staying with her. So I asked her about her bills,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, well, the work that I was doing, I was like, I'd prefer to give you money weekly, as opposed to coming up with $1,200 a month
Mm-hmm.
for your mortgage. So I would give her $300 every Sunday. And this went on for about a year and a half.
Mhm.
And then I got a job at the housing authority, right? And she was like, oh, I need to talk to you about something. And
Oh.
I got to work, and all these names in the databases, and
Oh.
her rent was like $220 something. She told me it was $1,200, but she was on Section 8. But I laughed about it. I wasn't mad at all. And when she saw my reaction, she kind of laughed. And I told her, I was like, I'm not upset, because as a man, I lived in a very nice home. She cooked every night. You know what I'm saying? So $1,200 a month was not a bad thing,
Ass.
But
Yeah, you need to get out of here. Thank you.
and not only her, it was funny because I started looking up these names, which I probably shouldn't have been doing it, but I looked up all these names, and I'm like, oh, all the biggest drug dealers in Charleston, the nightclub owners, all these folks talking about, yeah, come by my crib, dog. We got the gambling game, we got the card game. So I'm looking this up, and everybody got a voucher. Everybody's paying $200.
You know you ain't supposed to be looking up people.
He
I was the
got
IT
bored.
director. I was the IT director, so
He got bored at work one day.
You
I had to make sure.
the PPP loan list on their Facebook page. That's you.
Hey, no, I didn't expose anybody. I didn't expose anyone. But I learned, and I helped some friends invest, and I explained to them how the program worked and what qualified. And I was like, yo, you can buy a house, put such and such in it. And I got some friends that bought houses for their baby mamas and girlfriends. And this was back in 06, 07. They now own properties, but that was hilarious. She got paid for about a year and a half.
Oh, so you stopped giving her $300 every
No,
week.
I continued.
Okay,
and
that's
I
enough.
was like, you can use this for whatever because I have to pay to live somewhere anyway.
That's what's up. That's what's
You're,
up.
a better, you're a better man than me.
You were very nice for that.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I mean, what could I do? What am I going to
Yeah,
say?
I'm stopping cold turkey.
But I was paying that
I
money
can
to live.
imagine what you would have
I was
did.
paying that to live somewhere comfortably. She cooked, she did my laundry, like everything. So I felt like it was worth it.
I cook and do my own damn laundry.
Hey,
Like that. No,
man,
you ain't gonna
I
play
had a
me
good
like that.
salary. Listen, I had a good salary. My homeboy owned a nightclub, and I took pictures. at his club on weekends. Man, I literally made a extra $1,000 on a Saturday night taking pictures.
And plus,
So
he didn't care. She was cooking.
Yeah.
yeah, so $300. Yeah, she could really cook too, and so $300 was nothing at the time. But that was funny, and
So
I wonder how many other people are out there like that.
All I take from this, Sean, is that you really love to eat.
Yeah, that's all I take from
Hey, that's up there on my list. So that's the way to my heart, my stomach.
Yeah.
Obviously.
We see that. We
So
see that.
so like,
I'm easy, man.
do you think that, like, when we talk about like splitting bills and income, like, does income determine like how bills are split? Like, who makes the most?
Oh, that's a good question.
Ooh.
Like, what do you guys think?
I don't know about that one.
That's something. Now that's going to force a person to try to be equally yoked financially, because if you have a 6-figure lifestyle and you like this guy, but he's making $50,000-$60,000, I mean, he really can't afford a lot, today with that salary. You know what I'm saying? That would kind of put a limit to her lifestyle or max him out. Like, he'll be maxed out covering like whatever his income can cover. So that's a good question.
Example, I'm dating now, and I met this guy, really good dude. He was making less than me, way less. So that was going to be a deal breaker for me. So I kind of meditate on it. We started talking more detail, and he wanted to do more. So I pushed him to get another job, which increased his income, which means we're still together. Because as a woman, I do not want to carry all the burden of taking care of everything. Whether we live
Financially, right.
I live well, and I want you to be able to support how I live if you take me out. I don't want to have to go to McDonald's because you can't afford to take me to where I want to go.
Right.
Although I'm understanding and going to meet you halfway, but for the long term, I need you to come up to where I'm at. And so he's doing that. So I can say now his salary level is closer to mine. So now I can really stick and enjoy him more. But before then, I'm like, ugh, I'm paying for this too? Shit.
So, I kind of have always been in a situation where I've made more than my partner. And it's been some of those lives where it felt like I was taking care of them. And then sometimes it didn't feel like that at all, because even though I made more money and I know I put more money into the pot, the nurturing of the relationship was strong enough where it never made me feel like I was taking care of him. Like, where I was weak in certain areas, he was stronger, and vice versa. And we shared things. We shared our strengths with each other equally, even if my strength was financially and his strength was something else, right? So I'm kind of on the fence about that, because I've been in a relationship where I paid everything. Like, I was sick one time, and the dude living in the house with me and couldn't help me. My baby daddy had to pay the mortgage for us, right? So like, like that bad. So, and I've had
time out.
Yeah, I've been there.
Your baby daddy paid your mortgage when you had another dude living there?
Yeah, because he didn't want them kids to come to his house.
Hell no.
No, hey, y'all can come over here. Hey, matter of fact, y'all come.
No, I've done some things similar.
Mm.
And
And
that
that's
wasn't
just
even about the fact, we preface it by saying me and my children's father are best
our
of friends.
friends, good friends,
Best
right?
of friends, right? So
Yeah.
him coming to aid us was not about like romance or romance, a
Right.
romantic
Just
relationship.
helping a friend.
We were best of friends, and we worked together to make sure the kids were stable, whatever
Right.
that looked
No,
like.
no, no, no,
Yeah.
no. I totally get that.
Yeah.
I'm tripping on the fact that another guy's living there.
He was.
So if it's me in the back of my head, the first like obviously you and the kids gonna be good, but I'm
Was he
thinking
unemployed?
I ain't about to sit here and paying this man laying up here.
Was he unemployed?
No.
No, he got to go home. No,
He was not unemployed.
Well, unfortunately, I was married to him at the time, so he was not going
Shit.
anywhere. But that didn't last long. So
Hold up. What was he? So he had a job, but he just wasn't able to help out. He couldn't contribute.
yeah, he couldn't contribute enough to make sure the mortgage was covered.
Oh man. Well, I don't like to
It's rough.
I mean, like,
it's hard on the pimp. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah, we need him here to hear his side.
Well,
We
you
need to
know
hear his
what?
side.
We're cool now. After we were divorced, he apologized to me. We had a long talk and long discussion about, how things went, and we were just too young to be doing what we were doing, whatever, So we good. We Gucci.
Okay.
I think that women, especially black women, they're gonna have to come to terms with the fact that they're gonna be hard pressed to find a man that is doing better than them financially. And I say that because a lot of them are, like I said, like black women are killing it right now. I mean, like no ifs, ands, or buts about it when it comes to
Round of applause.
education and all these other things. And like
Mhm.
I can't analyze and put my finger on it and say why. But the fact is, they are. Whereas in the past, the man was like the lead, like black women are running laps around everybody right now. So if they're looking for a brother, it's gonna be hard for them to find a brother and just say that, okay, well, you know how they be talking about like, I need somebody that makes 6 figures. I need somebody that makes this amount. Chances are, when you go into the relationship, you're probably making more than he does anyway. So now what I will say with that though, when we talk about providing and just provision overall, I think we get that mixed up. Provision is more than just providing financially.
Exactly.
I know that's big because without money, I mean, you need money to do whatever, right? So let's. I want to put that out there, but there are things other than money that can fill that void of provision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you might be paying all the bills, but do you feel protected?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like he's giving you a home, but like if your back was against the wall, is he going to be there when you really need him? Is he going to be there to protect you? You know what I'm saying? If you have kids by somebody else, he comes into your life. How's he going to treat your kid? How's he going to treat those people that you love? So there are a lot of things that a good man can provide, even if, like, don't get me wrong, he needs to provide something financially. He needs to bring something to the table in that regard. But I don't think that should be the end all be all. But again, that's just me.
Yeah, but all those things are true. Like we were just saying, like when you make more than the right man, then he will try to match where you are, like, because if you guys live a certain lifestyle, he's going to want to be part of that and support that. So even if that don't mean like from day one he's going to be able to match where you are, but it's still going to be a certain elevation. There is some synergy that happens in the relationship between two people that may not start off at the same place, right? He's going to eventually, if it's the right man, he's going to eventually come up.
And Shannon, to your point, not to everybody, not like anybody who wants to listen to me, I share this because when me and my wife first met, I wasn't bad off, but seeing what she brought and seeing her work ethic and seeing the things that she was doing, that pushed the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was to the point where, because she don't need me at all. You know what I'm saying? But
not financially.
I said, you know what? I got to get my shit together. Like, you know what I'm saying? And because she gave me this thing, she was like, she never said, you need to proposed to me or whatever by this time, she said, "Hey, this is where I am. This is what I'm looking for. If you can't meet that, then we need to call things, whatever." And I assured her, yeah, I can do it. But again, that pushed me because I'm like, you know what? I had a plan. I'm like, okay, well, and that's why I was telling on the previous podcast. We were together 5 years before I actually proposed, but it was not because I didn't want to marry her. It was because I knew that I wasn't in a place, whether that be financially, mentally. I was the person I am now. I was a completely different person 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But that was my wake up moment, because I've dated women in the past, man, but honestly, no one motivated me the way that my wife did. It was always, if there was like a bad quality they thought I had, like they disparage me or do these other things. But you know what I'm saying? She never did that. More so, she encouraged me more than anything. And it's a sense of loyalty there as well. So that's when I said, you know what, this woman don't need me. Yeah. So I got to put myself in a position to show her that I bring some type of value or some type of whatever. And so when people see our relationship, because we're the best of friends, you know what I'm saying? Like Sean said earlier, we don't argue, we don't fuss, we don't yell at each other. Our kids have never seen any, you know what I'm saying? We've had disagreements, but we agree to disagree, which is completely opposite, because in past relationships, I done had shit thrown at me, and I had
windows bust out.
I done had my shirt ripped. I had my, I had all that done.
Hook, what you did? What you did to him?
I left. I left, but what that comes down to, though, in the relationship, that's why I say everybody, you got to do what's best for you and that person. You can't go based on what somebody else is. The fact that Coach Sean say he gonna pay all the bills, you know what, Coach Sean? I hope you marry somebody in my family. You know what I'm saying? Because I say that because I know they're gonna be taken care of. I know this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't disparage any man for thinking the way that he does. Is like I understand that, I respect it. I'm just of the belief that may work for Coach Sean and his side of things. But for other people, that may not necessarily be the case. So you have to find out what works for you.
Correct.
Which ain't easy. Like I said, I've been a lot of lies, so I'm still looking. I think what works for me right now is that brother who gonna just want to take care of me and treat me like the little soft girl I am.
Yeah, he's out there. I know he is.
I know.
He's out there.
I'm gonna get you. Send your address. I'm gonna send a set of pots and pans to you from Costco. That's step one.
I got plenty of pots and pans, honey. I know how to cook. Let's be clear. Okay?
You do?
Oh, damn right, I do.
Oh, okay.
I done fed plenty of people in my lifetime. Okay,
we know.
Yes. Yes.
She'd have been tall, dick, and hair.
All of it, right? Sally, Dick, and Jane, all on. Just.
So we still got a little bit of time left, but I want to ask, right? So I know we're talking about like splitting household bills and whatnot, but when it comes to like checking and savings accounts, how should those be split when you have and specifically when you're married? Like let's talk about when you have that because I think everybody on this panel has been married at some point in time, right? So how do you split when it comes to like checkings and savings accounts?
So I had to learn, like when my first attempt at that, right? We thought everything needed to just go on one account. You just put everything in there and we pay everything, right? And then you realize that, well, damn, I can't do nothing without this nigga seeing it, right? Or he can't do nothing without me seeing it. And then you realize, well, that you don't have to be that stringent. Let's just have a joint account and then we have our separate accounts, right? So we put money in for the household and then you have your own money that you do. You're able to be an individual with that money. So I think for me, that seemed to be the best way. It cut down on all the arguments. Nobody felt like they were putting all of their money into one pot and not being able to do the things that they want to do and that sort of thing. So I think for me, that has been the best way.
I agree with you on that. Me and my husband, when we paid all the household things, I covered all the utility things as far as vacations, clothing, and grocery and cable bill and cell phone. Other than that, he did everything else. So that worked for us. And then we moved and transitioned to something. And then the house was in my name. I paid the bills and he just gave me a certain amount of money where I paid the bills. So I guess it just depends on, again, the dynamics.
Mhm.
Yeah, the situation. And for me, I had some other things to consider because I have 2 older sons. And I feel like, you know, I would put my entire paycheck in our joint account. I always had 10% going into a savings account. And I would tease my wife because we had this way to save. So every time you swipe the card, they put $1 in the savings account.
Yeah.
And I swear I was getting like $100-something a month. I'm like, no, you swiping the cards 4 or 5 times a day, every day. So, but it's just a swipe, you know what I'm saying? Like snacks for the kids after school. Gas, like just every day, honestly, it was like 4 or 5 times a day. I remember getting like 120 to 150 a month from that swipe. But what I felt like my salary from my job would go into the bank account with 10% being saved, the rest would go in the account. And if I wanted to do something else, I've always done things on the side. I've done taxes, I've done IT work, like just different things. So whatever I wanted to do, if I want to go out and gamble, I felt like I had to do something extra.
Mhm.
And that would cover my personal hobbies and things like that. When it was like time for vacations or whatever, I think I've done a really good job at planning financially. So I knew, okay, we have to take a vacation. Well, I need to make sure I taught. When I was teaching, I would teach summer school. I would just find other avenues to generate some additional money. But again, it's different, the dynamics. And I also had to think about money for my older kids as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing too with when you think about retirements, even with insurance. And I think we talked about that like when we first got married, life insurance. And I was like, well, I told my wife, like, yeah, you can't just have all of my policy because I have 2 older children. You know what I'm saying? I can't depend on their moms. So they would split 50%, and then, you know, my kids with my wife would get 50. Like, what about me? I'm like, well, my kids would have 50% who are your kids. So hopefully you can manage that. But that's something to consider as well.
That don't make no sense at all.
So if I have a $1 million policy, I have 2 older sons. I have to leave money for them. I can't abandon my children.
Woman bills, she ain't gotta work. And then
I'm dead and gone. Then now whoever her man is needs to take over the bills.
She ain't had no job all these years. She ain't got nothing to fall back on. She got no retirement. When you die, you're gonna leave her nothing.
I didn't say I'm leaving her nothing. I said she will have 50% of whatever.
With the kids from you, with you.
Yes. So she has 50%. You know, she had a house when we met, so she had the car that's paid for, so she didn't have any bills. But I'm not going to abandon my. Imagine if your kid's father married someone else and something happened and that woman took everything and left your kids with nothing.
I never said abandon your children. I said have something for her, so you have 2 policies.
If she wants a policy, she can put a policy on me for whatever amount she wants. And I won't object to that. I would not object to that. At any time, she could put $1 million policy on me, and then she'll have $1 million.
You know,
like she can do that.
Stay home for 30 years, cooking dinner every day.
Yeah,
she don't get nothing.
She gets Social Security. We were married for over 10 years, and you know, in the state of South Carolina, it doesn't matter what happens after, but the first person that you're married to for 10 years, it has to be 10 years or more. They're entitled to your Social Security and retirement benefits.
Yeah.
So she'll get that. You know, I worked in education for a while. I put a lot of money into Social Security, but as far as insurance, you know, I got to think about my kids.
Yeah, man, ain't no need for you to leave all that stuff behind and you dead and gone and she go and get with somebody else. Now they reaping all the benefits of your hard work.
That
He
ain't
got my remote in his hand, wearing my drawers
stop it.
with my boxers.
Stop
Hey,
it.
baby.
Nah,
So
Hey, baby.
you talking to two widows here, and we still young. And to think if our husbands would have thought about us like that, my lord.
oh, sorry to hear that. I didn't know you all were widows.
We sincerely apologize. However,
That doesn't change how I feel. I'm just sorry y'all went through that and y'all are widows, but
right,
doesn't
that's the
change
part of
that at
that's
all.
what I'm sorry about. But everything else,
Yeah, that's
I
not what
still
I'm sorry
apologize
about.
to you.
Nothing. You still ain't
I'm
leaving
sorry
nothing.
about death. Death is traumatizing, and I hate that you all had to experience that at a young age
I
and
still
lose your life
have.
partner. But as far as changing that, no, that's no.
You ain't leaving nothing.
Did your husbands have other children,
Mine did not.
Mine
Shannon?
Mm-mm.
Okay, then. So y'all
Yeah.
supposed to get everything.
Yeah. You
That's
should.
different.
You should get everything then. I
No,
totally agree.
I ain't never say don't take care of your kids. Now I'm a proponent for people taking care of their kids. You set your kids up.
Yes,
And why does the wife have to be left out because you have
she's
children?
not left out. She gets half. My older kids get half.
You got half. You got 50.
She got 50%.
She got 50. And you had two older sons,
Two
right?
older sons. They get 50%. You get 50%.
Yeah, so 25, 50. She still came out.
I thought you said the other 50 was for your other kids.
Oh,
Well,
no.
that's through her. That's given to her for our two younger kids.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they couldn't do anything. My baby boys are 10 and 12. What are they gonna do? You know?
They'll be 18 soon.
And she'll be entitled to my retirement and my social security.
And the kids
They'll
will get
be
too, so they'll be fine.
And I acquired some assets. So if something happens, they will divide that, you know.
okay. Okay, as long as she's straight too. That's all I'm saying. So I'll make sure.
No, I didn't say she's straight. I said my kids.
That's it.
She has a daddy. She has a father.
No.
But that's why you take care of yourself, because when shit happens, you need to be self-sufficient. That is my perspective. I don't care what a man makes.
Agreed.
Take care of myself, because if something happens to him, if somebody else come along, I want to be self-sufficient. So to hell with what he got. I'm gonna have my own shit.
Oh,
Real talk. But I thought Koshan said his wife stayed home
Then over
I
there
think I'm
dropping
paying all the
gems.
bills.
and he paid all the bills and she just cooked.
So if you're with someone for 30 years, he's paid every single bill. If he dies, you better have, think about this, $200 a week. That gives you $10,000 a year. If you only put up $200 out of all of your money that you make with all these businesses, all you have to save is $200 a week, and you got $10,000 a year. After 30 years, you got $300,000 to look at if something happens to that man.
If you ain't straight after that, that's your own fault.
Yeah, that's your fault. If he's paid all of the bills and you have nothing,
the stay-at-home woman, where's she getting $200 a week from?
now if just a total stay at home, then you know she'll have a house, vehicles, whatever you paid for. You know, I mean, but again, that's one of those things you have to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
You sit down and communicate and what your expectations are. So what are you expecting from a spouse? Let's say you marry someone and they have kids. What would you expect?
I'm gonna decline to answer your personal questions.
Oh Lord, that man, poor kid's gonna be starving. She gonna have a mink coat on Hook. She gonna be wearing a darn.
That's not even the woman I am. Let's be clear. Don't do that now. I'm a nurturer.
I got you.
Care of everybody.
We believe you.
Yeah.
Hey,
We believe you.
I ain't worried. I got receipts. I know who I am.
Man, them kids, they gonna be talking about, oh, I didn't see that that wasn't written in this thing. That baby mama gonna get ran off. Them baby mamas gonna have restraining orders.
Everybody gonna eat. Everybody gonna eat.
Okay. That's good.
Right? Yeah.
We believe you.
I know, right? Now this has been a great discussion, though, man. It's it brought up some very valid points, some things I didn't even think about. So I certainly appreciate the dialogue. But before we peel out, I'm going to give everybody a chance to leave some parting shots with the viewers. What do you want to leave the audience with? So Vanna, as a first timer, we want to start with you. So what are some final thoughts you want to leave the audience with?
I want to say, be comfortable in your skin in your house. So no matter what the outside says, whatever agreement you all have, stand firm on that. Stand on business. It doesn't matter what my mom, sister, brother say.
Amen.
Go to hell.
Hey, we
He
ain't
doesn't
say you
have
can
the
bring,
applaud button.
hey, we ain't say you can bring all that cute shit out, man. Go ahead,
Right.
man.
Right.
Go ahead, boy.
So we know
Hey.
you don't go to Bible study.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and as usual, I really enjoy this dialogue and just getting different perspectives and learning different things about one another is always fascinating to me. And thank you all for having me here.
And make sure you guys check out Men Are From Mars every Friday, 5:30. Go.
5:30 Fridays, Men Up from Mars. Come join us.
Hey, I'll be there again tomorrow. I'm a regular now, so
Oh shit.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
we love it.
And Shannon,
Shannon
what
cut
you
us
got?
off. Shannon cut us off. She's all
I
over the
didn't cut
world.
you
We
off.
can't
I've
get
been
her.
traveling.
Shannon was on. She was on vacay, so she back
I was
now.
on vacation, baby. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What you got, Shannon?
So I'm gonna say, like, going back to what we said, it's what works for you and your mate. Like I kept saying, I don't live a few lives and I've experienced different things in relationships. And at this age in my life, I know what works for me personally, but you have to figure out what works for you and where you are at this point in your life and stand on that, like we were talking about.
Absolutely. And for my hookism, it's real simple. Just to reiterate what Shannon was talking about, everybody has to do what's best for them in their relationship. I don't think it's not like a monolithic thing. It's not a one size fits all. I think that if you and your mate decide that one person is going to take care of the household expenses, that's fine. If you decide to split everything evenly, that's fine. If you have some other system that works, that's fine as well. So I think that find your niche, find your thing, and just stick with it. And honestly, to hell with what anybody else got to say. Because I mean, they're not living your life, so you can't worry about other people and what they say. And chances are, especially with the advent of social media, the shit they say, they lying. They ain't living a life that they say they're living. So I mean, don't even go down that road. But again, I appreciate everybody for coming, man, and we'll be back here again in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we already have a topic lined up. The topic is going to be a very interesting one. It is going to be, why do some men fear marriage more than they fear fatherhood?
Oh, all right, Cam Newton. Okay.
So y'all think about that for a second. And Dana, Cole, if you guys want to come back on, just let us know. We'd be more than happy to have you. But this is one I really want to touch on because I think it's not something that's talked about enough, especially in our community where parenthood is really not celebrated or talked about as it should be. And we're going to talk about why some men would prefer to just be fathers rather than building a home,
marriage, man.
Yeah. So
you're not cheating if you just a baby mama. That's not, you do what you want to do. And the judge not gonna give the baby mama half of your, not give them your house, the car, half your bank account, all that. That's
seems like there are a whole lot of perks, right?
So,
seems like there are a whole lot of
a
lot of perks.
I got something to say about that because Hook, you just said black women are running circles around people.
They are.
The fact that y'all still have the narrative that getting married means that a woman gonna take half your stuff, she should be worried you gonna take half her stuff.
But that was just a figure of speech. Now we want actual.
I'm just saying, but no, every
it's
man,
not running circles. Out of the number of people with advanced degrees, it's like 11% to 9% black women to black men. And we make up a very small percentage. Like in some degrees, it's like 1.9 million. Women are at like 10% of that. So they're like 190,000. And men are like 9%, 8%, something like that.
You don't even have to talk about women who have degrees. We're talking about black women in general. And there's a lot of black women and people out here that are extremely successful that don't have degrees. So you can use that statistic to try to say that what Hook said doesn't have a lot of validity, but it does. And we know it. We see it every day. We all human beings. We walk around.
See it every day.
To be clear, when I say that, I'm not just talking about women with degrees, because I know women that are hairstylists and business owners, and they're doing exceptionally well. So that's what I mean. So that's certainly what I mean. But I think that'll be a good segue into this actual
topic. But the judge still gonna give them half, is what I'm saying.
No, it ain't. We see men these days that are getting half and being paid alimony.
Man,
Very,
one person, Mary
Yeah,
J.
you-
Blige.
It's like 1%, man.
It's one person, Mary J. Blige. Other than that, they don't
That's
care.
a lie. That
Mary
narrative
J.
has
Blige.
changed.
That's it, man. Them dudes still out there paying child support, license suspended. She got the house, got
Easy,
Jody.
not about child support now. That's that whole parenting versus being married. If you good
Yeah.
at being a father, you're gonna pay for these babies.
That
Yeah.
goes in.
Well,
Yeah.
well, that's another topic too. And I don't.
We already did that topic. We did that
But-
about two shows
But
ago.
child support, my only issue with child support is it eliminates the opportunity for any fiscal discipline. Because if you have a child and your child gets straight F's, your child in your home, your child brings home F's, are you going to buy Jordans for them? No. Are you going to reward them with a PS5? No. But if you're ordered to pay child support, your child can get straight F's, flunk, have marijuana, and you still have to take that $1,200-$1,300 down there every month. So you don't have the ability to implement any fiscal punishment to a child if you have to pay child support. That is my only issue.
Father,
That's mandatory.
Mother?
That's mandatory. You have to pay it. That child will still get that $1,200, $1,300, $1,400.
I think that's such a far stretch, but we're gonna let you.
And
go.
as a
True. That's 100% true.
Nah,
as
That's
a
fact.
as a professional child support payer, I can vouch for that.
Yes, I have
that's another one
29 years
that y'all have
experience.
that y'all new men done
Man, I
pulled,
got
No,
50,
that's-
I got
listen.
15 years
pulled out the
experience.
air.
My father had to pay child
Bullshit.
support. My father had to pay child support. It doesn't matter. Children are, I got friends, their kids were incarcerated and they were trying to show that. So, like, why am I paying child support? My son's in jail. Like, they still have to pay it. There are no requirements or prerequisites for a mother to collect child support. There are no GPA requirements. There are no behavior requirements.
I'm not talking about the
The
mother.
the only requirement is that the mama go down there and say, "I want to sue this man." Submit the information. The police
And he has to pay.
But they will come to your door, leave a note. Leave a note. If you ain't there, they gonna call you and threaten to take your license away. When they finally catch up with you, you gonna go to court. You gonna submit your paperwork, submit your pay stubs, all this other stuff. They gonna take you how much you need to pay, and then they done with you.
The system is flawed, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with men paying child support.
Right.
We never said that. We said a man cannot have any fiscal discipline on their children. And I asked one simple question. If your child was expelled from school or being arrested, are you going to buy new Jordans and PS5s for them?
So what you're saying is that you don't have a healthy relationship with the mother.
No, we never mentioned the mother at all. You said that and making the subject.
You don't have
No. We never mentioned the mom.
I don't.
We never mentioned the mother.
Order in your child's life with her is what
The court orders the child support, not the mother. We never mentioned the mom, and you're trying to deflect. We never mentioned mom at all. Mom has all we said was the court will still order it. I asked if your child did those things, would you reward them? You both said no. You have that luxury, but a father does not if he has to pay child support.
You gotta pay for the electric bill, taking them to school back.
I'm not talking about where the money goes to. We're not talking about where the money goes. All right, all right. The electric bill is a moot argument that people run in a hole. And listen, mathematically, I'm gonna break this down to you.
No, you all in the air. I can't even focus.
No,
you all up here. I can't even focus.
Shannon, that goes back to what Cole said earlier about when we don't say what you want to hear.
We don't pander. They don't want to hear it because we're not pandering.
No, it's not that. I'm having a conversation with them. I'm just saying.
No, you're not having a conversation. You cut me off because I'm not saying what you want to hear.
I can't get it because I feel like you all over here. We're still talking.
Tell your son to pander to women, say what they want to hear, and he'll do very well.
No,
but again,
y'all can't handle a challenge. I never told Koshan to shut up. I never said.
All I said was, with child support, we have to give the money regardless of what. You both just said you would not reward your children.
Why shouldn't you give the money? Regardless of what?
But I'm saying, you just said that you wouldn't give them money. You just said that you wouldn't give them money.
Let me say this one part. And then
you just said that you wouldn't. So why are you asking why we wouldn't?
No,
You just said that
went
you
from
wouldn't.
saying that you should, that because you pay child support, you
No, we're not talking
cannot,
about child support. Just as a parent.
you
Just as
cannot
a parent.
impart fiscal lessons onto your child or something to that nature is what you said.
Correct. Correct.
That is the statement that right there that we're talking about.
Yes. Yes.
Right there.
Yes.
Okay. And what we're saying is, even though you are ordered to pay child support,
Mm-hmm.
what does that have to do with you being able to teach life lessons to your child?
We didn't say. We did not say.
It may be because you
I
don't
didn't say we cannot teach life lessons. You made that up. I never said we cannot teach life lessons.
Well, then I don't
I
understand.
never said that. You made that up completely. I never once said we cannot teach life lessons. Never said that. You can do that through a personal relationship with your child. All I said was you cannot impose fiscal discipline. That's the only thing I said.
Why not?
Friend,
Because you have to give them the money. You just said you wouldn't give them money. But if I'm having to pay child support, I have to give the money. You just said if you had the choice as mom and your child is arrested, your child is getting straight Fs, you would not buy these things. You would not do that.
I would not.
Right. But if for a man that's paying child support, he has to give it regardless. If I'm ordered to give somebody $1,500 a month, I have to give them $1,500 a month, regardless of their behavior, regardless of what they're doing. I have to give $1,500 a month.
But the mother has to give it to them.
Technically,
we don't say right or wrong. I just said that
it's not gonna go to the child. It's gonna go to the mom anyway, and she gonna do what the hell she want to do with it. So, right. So the child ain't even gonna see that.
Well, some mothers give the child the money. All I'm saying is you cannot do that. You have to give X number of dollars every month, regardless of what this child is doing, regardless of what the grades are like, their behavior is like. They can go to jail, whatever. You still have to give X number of dollars.
You're right about that. I agree with you on that.
That's all I'm saying.
You know, the mom is gonna say is, "Oh, you got all this. I'm gonna just keep this for myself. You don't need no money." So now, that check is going up.
Or you have good mothers out there, like some of us, who give their children that money as an allowance or save it for them, because the thought process that just because you pay money, a woman is taking the money to do stuff for herself is ridiculous, right? Yeah. As if you didn't pay for this money, I still wouldn't eat, get my nails done, get my hair done, have a car, and things of that nature. So the thought process that because you pay child support, now every woman out there is going to get her nails done 5 times.
No, we never said that.
Now I got a question. I got a serious question.
Yeah.
How did we even get here? We were. No, listen. Hey. We were wrapping up and
we were wrapping up and we bust open a whole new can.
No, I want to talk about that 3 shows ago.
Hook, I want to say something else to what we were talking about earlier, and I'm being petty here because it's a talking point where women always talk about, oh, my lights, my son. So if the child wasn't there, were you gonna live in the dark? Were you gonna burn candles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you gonna burn candles?
I had the option.
I got it. They helped to pay my light bill. You was gonna pay it anyway, right?
I had the option.
Yeah, you gonna pay it anyway. And Shannon,
if the child is there and I don't have lights, DSS is coming. If the child is there and I don't have lights, I don't have water, DSS is coming.
If just you as an adult is there with no lights and no water, them people from Bow Street coming because your parents gonna send them one like, what's going on? Your friends gonna be like, that girl living over there with no running water, no lights. Something wrong with her. They're gonna send you to Bow Street.
The water hose hooked to a neighbor house and bring it.
But hey, mathematically speaking, I want to say this now. Mathematically speaking, a light bulb, right, is like 50-watt light bulbs.
Don't even try that. Don't even try that.
There listen. There are 50-watt light bulbs, right? Your utility bill, look at it. You pay per kilowatt hour. Kilowatt hour, right?
Little rugrats don't like to turn off the damn light.
It's 12 cents per kilowatt hour. That means 1,000 watts, right? That 50-watt light bulb has to burn nonstop for 20 hours. 50 times 20 is 1,000. That gives you 1 kilowatt. So every day it costs you 12 cents. 30 days is $3.60.
And
A
y'all
light that
just saw him.
so that child
Man,
can have the
hey.
lights on in their room for 30 days, and you
Talking
spend
math, so I was
$3.60.
zoned out.
You
He
know it's a
talking
lie.
math and my head hurting. Like,
You know it's a lie.
Hey,
That's too technical.
Hook.
That
What
light
I'm
bill
saying
go up
is
$200 every
now I feel you though.
that light bulb is $3.60 a month. If it's left on for 20 hours a day for 30 days, it costs $3.60. But they like to say, "Oh, them kids, the lights, does that, that."
No, wait. Did you tell
You don't buy
Dominion
underwear every
that?
day, every
Did you
week
tell
for the kids.
Dominion Energy that? Because these light bills be $400, $300, $200. Did you tell Dominion Energy we shouldn't
That
be
is
paying
because of your refrigerator and your air conditioning unit.
food for the kids?
From where from?
Your
Thank you.
house has one temperature. You don't have the house 90 because.
Let's just agree to disagree because that is not correct. I'm sorry.
Well, hey, I want you to put your kids
Hey,
out for a month.
he lived
Put the
down
kids
there
out
by
for a
you.
month. Put the
He
kids
lived
out for a
down there
month
by
and tell
you,
me what your light
girl.
bill
Get
is.
up.
Huh?
Hey,
I said, y'all live by each other. Y'all need to go get them. Get them. Get them.
Hey, y'all, I'm just having a good time. But again, put them kids out for a month and tell me if your light bill go down.
Yeah, it will.
Look, when we saw Shannon work, Shannon had 14 computers, 18 cell phones, a printer, a fax machine. That's why your light bill is like that, Miss
I live by
Entrepreneur.
myself now, baby. Look, my light
You
bill
got
be like
12
$200 a
businesses.
month.
Look, she was in her office on one episode. You got 8 laptops, 2 desktops, a fax machine, a Xerox copier,
All of
8
it.
cell phones,
All of it. I got
and
a
you
shredder. I got
see,
scanners. I got all of it.
and trying to blame the light bill on her kids. Stop it.
Yeah, because y'all just saw that 28-year-old. He was over here visiting me for 4 hours. And every room he walked in, he left a light on. I had to go behind him and turn
that's
the
your
light
fault.
And
Turn
did
the
not
light
and did not burn 12 cents. So I'm gonna send you a quarter, okay? Keep the change.
I know, right?
I'm gonna send a quarter.
Don't even worry about it, Shannon. Don't even talk no more.
Right.
Miss Germany, it really was a pleasure meeting you
You
as
as
well.
Thank you all.
Yes. I'm glad
No, but
both
this
of you were
this
able to join
now
us.
listen, this was a great conversation, man. And
Yeah.
if you guys do want to come back for the next one, just holler at us and let us know. But the next one is gonna be epic.
We
That's for
love
sure.
it.
All
And
right, but
Shannon
again,
did good, Hook. She didn't lose a lot of points this episode.
now this is like the first episode where she lost no points. So
Yeah, because normally she's minus 50 and all types of stuff.
Look
She's
here.
good this week.
Look here.
hey, and we're up on we call that progress. So Shannon, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're
I need
doing good.
progress. I
Now,
appreciate y'all.
but Bandicoot, we appreciate you guys, and Shannon, as always, I appreciate you, and we'll see you guys again in a couple weeks.
All
All right. Bye.
That was
Holla.
fun. Yeah.